We do not need to be consuming refined carbohydrates. Hi, this is Dr. Randall. I'm a health and healing advocate and author, and I do these Friday videos going in depth on one particular topic related to health and healing. And this week's video is inspired by a post from a nutritionist who claims in her post that we need 120 grams of carbohydrates per day for our brain to function properly. And there are so many errors in this post. And so part of my video today is just trying to beg you to do proper research, especially with older myths about health and nutrition. And that we need 120 grams of carbohydrates per day for our brain to function properly is ridiculous. First of all, she mixes up blood glucose with dietary sugars, different completely. Second of all, our bodies can produce its own glucose. It's true the brain uses a lot of glucose to function, but that doesn't mean we have to be downing bowls of sugar for it to operate. In fact, we now have Atkins, keto, carnivore for decades, and they're proof. They're still alive. They haven't had 120 carbs per day in years and years. And in fact, that's the same thing people told me when I first went keto more than 20 years ago. They said, your brain's going to shrivel up and die. And I just started laughing because it's such an ingrained myth that we need dietary sugar for our brains to function. Now, I'm not against all carbs. I do follow mostly a keto lifestyle, and I'm not saying everyone else should, although certainly keto is much better than the ultra-processed diet that many of us are following. And carbs, especially refined carbs, are lurking everywhere in the ultra-processed food diet. So, what I recommend is, yes, getting rid of all refined carbohydrates. That means all refined sugars. That means white breads, white rice, white pasta, all these things that are just basically turned into sugar in our bodies. I, in fact, talk about fiber rather than carbs in my book, The Healing Revolution Diet, because I think carbs have such a negative connotation. I totally support the dietary sugar that I get from fruits and vegetables, mainly because the fiber in those helps protect my body from the fructose, which is the most damaging sugar that our body can consume. And so, again, when you see these posts or articles, so many of these articles I see online are clickbait. You know, I'm a nutritionist, but I eat 120 grams of sugar a day or whatever it might be. Follow me. And don't follow these influencers. Do your research. Know your body. For some people, carnivore is amazing. For others, they can't do it. They can't handle just fat and protein, or they don't do enough fat, and then they get kind of backed up on the carnivore diet. The same thing with keto, or vegan, or Mediterranean. It's not the diet that matters as much as how your body is processing that food for your gut and your gut microbiome, for your brain, and for your whole body. After you eat, do you feel energized or do you feel sluggish? These are the things you need to be looking at. Do your own investigative research on yourself and on any post, including my own. We all make mistakes. We all sometimes get so excited about the latest research and we maybe need to do more research. So just be proactive about your health. But please, please reduce your consumption of refined carbs and refined sugars, because there is 100% agreement that too much sugar is one of the key factors driving our health crises. It might also be the seed oils, it might also be the chemical additives, and guess what? All three of those are in ultra-processed foods. So that's the number one thing to get rid of. Start buying real foods and cooking at home. All right, rant over. Wishing you a great day and a great weekend ahead. I will see you next week. And don't forget, I have my short Tuesday videos giving you one tip to improve your health this week. All right, take care.